Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let us recite Al-Fatihah. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki yaumiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Allah, you are the most merciful, the most compassionate, the most forgiving. Please forgive all our sins, our parents, our families, and the Muslim Ummah. Oh Allah, please make us to be your best servants and your best viceroy. Oh Allah, please help our brothers and sisters who are suffering from hardship, difficulties, and challenges of life. Oh Allah, please get rid all of us from all the diseases in our life. Oh Allah, please bless those who are suffering economically and socially. Please ease them all your bounties and also your guidance. Oh Allah, please bless all of us with the ability to learn and the ability to comprehend and the ability to practice what we have learned. Oh Allah, please make us to be steadfast in your path and steadfast in seeking your guidance. Oh Allah, please unite all of us to Jannah together with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Oh Allah, we are depending on your mercy. We are your servant. We are very weak. We have nothing but accept the bounties given by you. We are asking you to bless all of us. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Alhamdulillah, first and foremost, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us the opportunity to continue our week number 12, part 2. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa barik wa sallim. Alhamdulillah. How are you, brothers and sisters? At this time, we have 46 students. After 3 minutes, 46 students. So there's a queue, right? Is there a queue to enter the Zoom? How do you find, Brother Akmal? Is there any queue?
No, sir.
No queue, huh? I thought Zoom.
Yes, easy.
Makes queue. That's why people have to come slowly. It's like the quarantine or checking at the airport, where people have to go one by one slowly. Okay, doesn't matter. So 53, okay, out of under 44. All right, we continue with the motivation. In the motivation, basically motivation, we talk about how can we maintain. First, we have to maintain the energy. Number 2, we have to provide direction. And number 3, we have to give them. We have to sustain. We need to have the persistent. Okay, persistent. Persistent means continue to have the ability to work. This is the expectation from the conventional motivation, and to have energy, direction, sustain. And therefore, we discussed last class, in order to have this energy, you need to understand the content and also the process. Okay, if you don't understand the content and the process, and then it's difficult for you, especially the input. Content is about the input. The input must be clear. Okay, if you don't have input, and basically you don't have the energy. Okay, we need. This is very fundamental in humans. That's why when come to pay, when come to payroll, when come to decision about your motivation, we we need to pay you salary. And then in the salary also, sometimes you have a benefit like meal allowance. Okay, we have this meal allowance. We also have laundry, certain business, certain work, you have a laundry allowance. You have also transportation allowance. Okay, sometimes in the government sector, we have cost of living allowance, cost of living allowance, what they call as a collar, and not collar. And then this laundry normally like those in the uniform, like police, army, okay, nurses, those in the uniform. So they are given the allowance to pay for the laundry of the uniform. And they're given also a few pairs of uniform. And if the uniform already damaged, they can get a replacement for their uniform. And this is all basic. You know, meal is basic, laundry is also basic, transportation is basic. Another thing is housing allowance. Until today, as government staff, government members of the government, we are still receiving what we call housing allowance. Although it is not that much, at least we have something to pay for our house rental or even house loan, housing loan that we have. And even they provided also with easy loan for those who wanted to buy the new house, or for those who wanted to get married. Certain company they provided with the financial assistance or easy loan, so you can take loan for you to do your to get married, and even you are given a loan for your first house that you're going to rent after your marriage. This, can you see all this until today? Companies are providing all this. Whether you are a small company, moderate company, or even your big company, you still have this to show that in order to make people come to work, they continue to work, I think, for many years, because they have the place where they can get their energy. Okay, energy means you don't feel tired. For example, at the office, you have a place where you can get your food and beverages, or your pantry. So now the current issue, when we talk about the current context, we have to look at the context, what we call the welfare. Okay, we talk about welfare. How many of you know about the terms waqi? Al-waqi. Brother Akmal, waqi. Al-waqi.
The something like nikmat, the I don't know how to describe it.
Something what? Waqi? Something what?
I think like nikmat.
Al-waqi.
I forget.
Al-waqi. Waqi. Brother Amir, how about you? Al-waqi.
I'm not sure that thing.
Sure. Never heard,
Yeah, obviously I've heard it before, but nothing comes to my mind.
Okay. Al-waqi is about context. It's about context. About where, what's your context? What is your ecosystem or ecology? Okay. Waqi al-fiqh. Okay. Al-fiqh al-waqi. This is study in Sharia called al-fiqh al-waqi. Fiqh mean the understanding of the Sharia, of the context, okay, of the situation, al-waqi'. So we need to have also the knowledge about the waqi'. As a manager, that's why you have to do your environmental scanning. You have to scan the environment. You have to read the trends. You also have to read the what called the understanding of the current situation. In this context, the requirement for those who are in the line of fatwa, mufti, for example, or Sharia officer, they need to possess, the ilmu al-waqi'. Okay, they must understand the context, and then they have to understand the reality. Okay, before they applying their Sharia knowledge. If they don't understand the fatwa or verdict that they introduce might not be relevant. For example, nowadays we're talking about the digital transactions. When you study in transaction, normally we have the akad, buying and selling. But how about in the context of digital, whereby you don't have the akad, buy and selling, offer acceptance in a majlis, in a place whereby the buyer and seller meet and also can agree at the physical setting. So therefore, the waqi' is that the platform is the digital transaction like Lazada, Shopee, and even in the context of, we have this platform, Zoom, for example. So whether or not this is considered as a majlis, majlis means the place whereby you have your transaction. Similarly, in the context of motivation, to give energy, and of course you cannot give energy through Zoom, right? You cannot offer people refreshment through Zoom. You can offer people for pantry through Zoom or online meeting. But what we have in the past, companies, they provided with food delivery to the workers. Let's say they have a meeting supposed to end with refreshment. What they did exactly, they already ordered to a certain food company. Okay, by the time they finish their meetings, everybody at different places they receive their refreshment, or they are given a coupon for them to go to any place that within their reach to have the meal. So in other words, we have to look at the context as well. When the context change during pandemic, we are not able to do face-to-face meeting, so we replace with the online meeting. But again, energy also need to be given. Now we're talking about a lot of digital transaction, digital meeting, digital business, etc. Then how the employers need to provide the benefits or allowances for their staff who are working from home with their own computers, with their own data, with their own electricity. How are you going to compensate? Because all this while they can use all the devices because of their own usage. They are willing to pay. But when they use their computers for the company, then how are you going to compensate them? Are you following me? Is there, do you think that this is something relevant, right? Compensation to workers who are working from home? What do you think, Abu Bakar? Brother Abu Bakar Siddiq? How about Sister Rosdia Bashira? Sister Rosdia? What do you think about the allowances for workers working from home? Rusdia, what do you think? Should employers provide allowances for workers working from home? No response. Huh? Muhammad Aimaduddin.
Yes, doctor.
Can you answer this question? The one that I highlight?
Wait, I need to think. I need some time. Wait.
The one that I put in the star. If you cannot say, I put the star. And I also put the love. Can you see that?
Yes. Should employers provide allowances for workers working from home? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, for me it's a yes.
That's all.
Because I think before this they have to change their norms, like from the office environment to a new environment. So I think it is hard for them to adapt with that, and they have to provide their own, what do we call it, like the equipment to working from home. So yes, the employer should provide allowances for the workers.
How much? How much per month to provide?
I don't know, but I think it depends on the company how they want to give to the employee.
Cannot be.
Maybe some allowances for the data or the computer or so on.
But that's another problem. If you provide for claim for phone data or internet data, difficult to measure between the official use and also personal use, because the data is from your phone, isn't it? Or you're from your Unify and whatnot. Because you pay Unify on one bill, right? A monthly bill. You pay also monthly bill. Then how to have the proportionate? How do you going to proportionate from the bill to your usage? This is difficult, right?
Yeah.
So because of this difficulty, employer said no need to pay anything. Is it okay?
Okay.
Okay, no need, because difficult. Because difficult and also difficult to calculate, and therefore we don't have to pay anything. So you have to find ways, exactly. You have to find ways. Perhaps you can use flat rate, or perhaps you can use the average. This one you can discuss with the telco company. If you, let's say, if the person work on certain hours, what will be the per unit charge for certain duration? So this can be also basis, just because whether they want it or not. If they don't want, then they will give all kind of excuses. Just like the minimum wage. The minimum wage is supposed to be all workers to get the minimum wage, but small companies already asked for them to be excused not to be, imposed the minimum wage. So perhaps other companies also might be asking the exemption, but they also not able to provide the minimum wage. Okay, those are the situations that require managers and employees to consider. Sometimes you are so much of cost minimization, you might compromise with the energy. In other words, the direction and also the persistence of the employees. Because if you do not want to compensate, employees might not have that ability to work. So that is one issue in the context of motivation. And then how about when we have diversity in the workplace? People from different countries with different cultures, different languages, different understanding. Then how we can motivate people of different cultures? This is another issue. How to motivate? They are coming from different. How are you going to motivate between the local and also the non-local? Both of them are working together in organization. If the local receive more or the international receive more than the local, and then the local might not be happy because of the different compensation. But again, it could be also becomes like, you know, certain like the Japanese culture, very hardworking, and then the Asian culture is not hardworking, and then that might be, you know, there might be a problem for the workers. But if the local could emulate, could copy or model the hardworking culture from other nationalities, that can be very good. So another, we wanted to increase the motivation through the diversity or the cross culture. And also how to motivate people in the professional or people in the casual work, and also those who are on contracts. How to motivate them, because they can come and go, and their contract has you know, the duration for 1 year or 2 years. So after the duration, they might not want to continue if the working conditions is not up to the expectation. So managers also need to look at the work or the context. Sometimes not just the work that managers need to look at, beside the work, and also the uruf. So the uruf means the uruf refer to the customs or norms, okay, the practices of the people in the local, as the local. For example, like the uruf of people when they already have this culture of celebrating the high achievers, okay, the uruf. Or nowadays they're becoming more custom. For example, celebrating birthday, so they will pull all those birthday on that particular month to the end of the month. For those who born in June, so at the end of the June, there will be a birthday party for those who are born in June, and so forth. So this and the uruf of the work also require mentoring, require the senior and the junior or the new entry workers to work with the junior, with the senior, the junior and the senior. Okay, so if we understand the situation, so we can avoid the counterproductivity or something that can demotivate our employees in the organization. All right, those when you also use flexibility, okay, the work that focusing on schedule. For example, you don't work what call 8 hours, 5 days a week, but perhaps you just work 4 days a week or 3 days a week, but you compress the total work hours still 40. Okay? 8 times 5 is 40, but you are able to work, let's say 10-hour day, so you just have to work for 4 days, so you can already obtain your 40 hours a day. So you can save, you can save 3 days for your break, because you spend 10 hours a day, mean to say that you have the motivation for you, the 3 days for your break and for your family, and also for you to prepare yourself for the next schedule. And nowadays also we have the flexible time, especially in urban area. So we don't want everybody to go out at 7 o'clock in the morning in order to punch in at 8 in the morning. So now we have the flexible time. Okay, you can time in, check, you can punch in at 8, at 9, and also at 10 o'clock. So, and then when you return, you punch out after you completed your 8 hours. So in other words, we can ensure the organization can have longer service hours, and at the same time, we also can give more rooms for our employees to come according to their flexibility. Okay, and also we have job sharing. So We don't want, some people they don't want to work. They don't want to work continuously, 5 days or 40 hours a week. So what they did, they share the same position with another person. So another word for 40 hours a week job to be shared by 2 people. So 1 people will get 20 hours a week. So this is another thing that's already practiced in current organization. Now, during pandemic, we are working from home. This is also already practiced, telecommuting. In the past, telecommuting, it is not feasible because many employers do not want to practice. But because of the pandemic for 2 years, so people already had the experience working from home. But some people continue to work from home. Some people do not want because of the challenges at home, especially when your home is not good for you to conduct meetings and also to do your work due to weather, due to internet and whatnot. Okay, those are the flexibility aspect to motivate people. And how to motivate people who are professional. If you have lawyers, doctors, engineers at your company, how are you going to motivate them? Because they can just work with you, and also they can live and they work with other companies, or they run by their own. When it comes to hospital, we have trouble to maintain the motivation of the doctors, because in hospital, public hospital, government hospital, very busy, very occupied with work, and sometimes they are very tired working in the government hospital. If they work in a private hospital or private clinic, it's very relaxing. They don't have to work, on the run, or they have to work long hours. So they will work based on the patient available, and also with higher pay compared to work in the government sector, but very low pay. If you have legal advisor who are also lawyers, then also you have trouble to maintain the legal advisor, because to work as legal advisor might not be lucrative. Working as a lawyer, because lawyer you have no limit to earn for your money. But again, you have to compete to get your cases. Someone approach you and hire you as their lawyers. Okay, but again, professional, they are loyal to their profession, not to the organization. Therefore, we have to find ways how to maintain the professional at the workplace. And also, how are you going to motivate people of the contingent workforce? Okay, nowadays we have a lot of contract now. Okay, a lot of contract teachers, contract doctors, contract nurses, contract lecturers. For your information, other universities, new lecturers, they are hired on the contract basis. Very unfortunate, they work as contract, and they have a target. The university, let's say, puts a target that you need to do certain things. If you already in the contract for, let's say, for 5 years, but you haven't done a lot, or you haven't applied for a promotion, or you never obtained any promotion, so after 5 years, the university is not going to renew your contract, because they already have the target. Okay, we hire you for 5 years as a contract lecturers. So after 5 years, then only will be in the promotion, we promoted you to the higher level, and you will be absorbed as a permanent workers. This is something that's very dangerous, because how are you going to keep people with the contract wages? Contract wages is less than the permanent workers' wages. Teachers also, okay, contingent teachers or contract teachers, they do not feel they are teachers. They are just on contract. The contract is just 1 year or 2 years. After that, no more. Then what happened? They cannot work. Yeah, they cannot continue to teach in the school because their service are not needed. So this is another dilemma among the workers, among teachers, among public sectors workers. Now all jobs, the new coming job, they are all on contracts. Or what they call is not contract. You are the contingent workers. They don't call you as lecturers, but they hire you as a fellow, for example. And perhaps they hire someone who already retired from other service. They hire you as honorary, okay, honorary professor. No salary, no benefit, and you are going to be paid according to your service. Okay, if you conducted teaching, so you'll be paid on monthly basis based on the number of teaching hours that you conducted. So all these kind of works are not making people secure. They are not secure because they have to make sure that within the 5 years they have to be productive, extra productive, and they see the rest are not productive. They also will reduce the motivation. I think you see, right? Doctors are not be given the permanent post, right? Right? Do you I realize that doctors went for a strike recently, and our doctors went for strike, isn't it? Those who absorb, those who houseman, after houseman, they are absorbed as medical doctors, but on a contract medical doctors. How long the contract? There is no time given. They keep renewing the contract after 1 year, and then after another year, another year, another year. So where will be the ending? And they are getting their age is getting increased, but they are still not yet getting the permanent post. Not just doctors, teachers, nurses, and even lecturers at the public universities. Okay, when they advertise, they don't advertise permanent posts, or they advertise contract lecturers, contract researchers, and so forth. So when you are not permanent, you don't have benefits. Benefits of housing loan, benefit of car loan, benefit of training, etc. The benefit are less compared when you are on a permanent post, especially in the public sector. So this is all the challenges that managers need to understand. Okay, another issue when you wanted to design the reward system, how many of managers are willing to share the cost and also the operation with their workers? They will share when they are making losses, and not only they will share with their employees. See, we are not making profit, so don't ask for salary increment, don't ask for bonus and so forth. When they make profit, right? When they make profit, what happened? Will they share? Aisha Azmi, do you think employers will share the profitability book with their employees?
Yes, sir. Can you repeat the question?
Will managers share their profit statement with the workers?
I think they should share the financial statement.
Yes.
For they can improve their works and their structure for maximize their profit.
But normally managers will share only the losses. They don't share the profit situation of their company, right? What do you think when you just share the losses but not the profits? Sister Hazira?
Yes, Doctor.
What do you think when managers only share their losses with the employees?
I think the employees will not know the current situation of their companies while they're working. So because they don't know, yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, I think that I just confused. Did every organization really share the finance statement with their employees in the situation or no?
No, normally managers they do not
Not
share,
right.
they do not share when their companies are making profits. They don't share. They only share when the company is making losses.
What is losses?
Losses, they don't make money. They show to their
Oh,
workers,
loss, rugi. Yes, yes.
look at here, look at my statement. Our company doesn't make money. So see, now we don't make money.
Oh,
So
so
what
I
does it mean?
guess the workers will be lost in trust with the company because the company has revealed their loss to the employees.
When company making losses,
Mhm.
so the employees are expected to understand that they need to sacrifice. Don't ask for salary increment, don't ask for bonus because the company is not making profit, right?
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah, logic.
But however, this is not ethical. This is not ethical because you only share when you are in trouble. You only share the trouble with your employees. When company making profit, you do not want to share because you want to enjoy alone the profit. So this is not sincere and also not transparent. You are only transparent when you are not in the good situation. At one time, employees might be acceptable, but if you repeat at other times, and employees will be will feel that they've been cheated, they might not believe anymore, or perhaps some of them will just ignore whatever you want to share, or the worst, they will just resign and find another job at other companies. Transparency is good, open book is good, but if you want to practice open book, you have to practice with really transparent and really sincere. Do not just do it half-heartedly, okay, or partially. Okay? Do the real full open book management. Do not do the partial, okay, or pseudo open. Pseudo means it is not really open. Open and then close, open and close. Okay, number two, okay, in order to increase motivation, you can also offer employees recognition programs. Okay, you can provide recognition for them who work already for certain years due to their loyalty, due to their service for them working for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. So they will receive some recognition reward from the organization. Or at least they can have like quality day, during they have a quality day. So those who are very excellent will receive monetary rewards, okay, and also celebration or dinner provided by the company. Okay, but you have to look at your situation, whether or not it is okay. You have to what I call invest. This is kind of investment, investment in the employees' motivation. Okay, number 3, you can also use pay for performance programs. Okay, you don't use the same salary program. Of course, pay for performance doesn't mean that you start from zero. Those who do not do anything will get zero. No. For example, in Malaysia, we have minimum wage. Yes, we have to begin from the minimum wage. Okay, and then the performance will be based on the outputs produced by every workers, and then they will get extra pay for their extra performance. So pay performance is also another way to motivate people to work harder. For example, if people work, everyone work 30 days, 1 month, receive the same salary, whether you are hardworking or whether you are not, you are receive the same salary, then there's no point, isn't it? No point for you to work extra. So that's why you employ a person, pay them minimum wage, but at the same time also, you can also provide them a pay for performance in order to increase their motivation. Okay, next I'm going to talk motivation from the Islamic perspective. Are you familiar with this? Are you familiar with the nafs, category of nafs? Brother Abdullah? Brother Abdullah, Sheikh Oida. Abdullah? Are you familiar with these 7 levels of nafs? Zul Hasnita? Nur Fatin Shahira? Nurin Nazwa? Afza Adila?
No, sir, I didn't hear before.
Afza Adila, are you familiar with these nafs?
No, sir. No, sir.
Are you familiar with this? Nafs
I didn't hear before.
never heard before?
No.
All right. Andrika Adin?
I think I heard some of these terms.
Can you explain which one you have heard?
Nafsul mutmainnah. I think I heard that one. So I
Okay.
think it means like jiwa yang tenang or something like that. Only that.
Only that. Okay. How about Christina Farha?
No, sir, I haven't heard.
None of this, huh? Shadi? Have you heard or have you gone through any class or any talk about self or nafs? I think Brother Imam might know. Brother Imam Haris?
Yes, sir.
Imam, can you share with us understanding about nafs?
Yes, I have learned before. So we have 7 level of nafs, and I only remember certain of that. So the lowest level of nafs is nafsu amarah, and the highest level is nafsu al-kamilah. Amarah is like we can we all human and we have nafsu, and not all of the people have the same level of nafs. So the great or the highest level of nafsu is nafsu al-kamilah. Like, I don't know how to explain for the detail.
Okay. And then how are we going to apply this nafs, different categories of nafs into the workplace?
Yes, sir.
How to apply this into workplace? Let's say nafs amarah, nafs lawama.
So I think nafs amarah, it is stated that inciting to evil. So in some situation we need to have the tegas. So it nampak macam kita marah, tapi itu adalah tegas. I think like that. And nafsu kamilah, all of what we do is kembali kepada Allah. Niat kerana Allah. That's it. I don't know.
Okay, brothers, so when you study about motivation, all the the theories that you learn from the content and the process theories, they are talking about the external aspect of human beings. Okay, whether they call extrinsic or intrinsic, but they are not talking about the human being, which is the focus of human, is the soul of human beings, the ruh, the ruh aspect. In the ruh, we have our enemies. Enemies very close to us is our desire, our nafs. Okay, our nafs is our greatest enemy. So we have to manage our nafs. The motivation, I call approaches that you apply, must be able to provide the training and also situation whereby people do not to have experience of burnout, okay, or they became violent at the workplace, right? So because the violence will be very dangerous to the organization, will cause insecurity of people at the workplace. So when you identify that, originally you have this al-amara, it is not stable. Okay, it is not stable because it is purely dominated by your desire and also your instinct. Okay, you have to tame, you have to educate your al-amara bisuk, especially al-amara that can be dangerous, very evil to yourself. And then from the al-amara, then you go into another process which is more resourceful, which is more, you can control your desire. Okay? Anger, for example, anger management, you can control your anger. Okay, so more, when go higher, then our soul or our nafs becoming more peaceful, okay? More restful. Okay, we call nafs safiyah, Safiyah means rest. The nafs is not easily triggered, easily boiling. Al-mara is boiling, but whatever temperature that you have outside here, very, very hot temperature, but your nafs is not boiling. I'm giving an example, people so angry, people not to say that you became zombie, you became half dead, don't care about what's happening. Just now we talk about al-waqi', your situation, you have to know the reality, but the outside there will not make you boiling inside. But some people, the outside is not stable, and affect their motivation, also their nerves to be boiling as well. But those who reach the level of Safiya and also Kamila, they are very relaxed. They not be affected by the situation. So another metaphor, for example, fish in the ocean. Okay, when you catch fish in the ocean, right, you don't taste salty, right? I'm not sure whether you have the opportunity to go and catch fish from the ocean or from the sea. The sea is very salty, isn't it? But when you caught the fish and then you eat, the meat of the fish is not salty. It means that the fish can live in the salty water, but the meat is not salty. But when the fish already died, then the fish can be salty. When you put a lot of salt, it can be a salted fish. Okay, those are the metaphor. In other words, we need to identify ourselves and train ourselves. Okay, we need to train ourselves. We have to you have to reach the level of nafs al-kamilah, the level that you are very, very restful and also very perfected. We have to reach, because only those who with this restful and perfected soul can be entered into the Jannah. Of course, we have to have the remedies. Remedies mean how we can tame our nafs. So how to tame our nafs? No shortcut. Okay, so our nafs is nafs al-amara. Al-amara, you are influenced by the shaitan, right? Or not the shaitan, not the one that very angry. Sometimes you are driven by the dunya, by the dunya benefit. For example, people have desire to get more money regardless of the norms and regulation, so they became forgotten. They became ghafla. I think ghafla also used of people in Penang, right? Anyone from Penang here? Is Sumaya from Penang? Sister Sumaya, are you from Penang?
No.
Yeah. Where are you from, Sister Sumaya?
Cyberjaya.
Oh, Sabajaya. Have you heard this term ghafla?
No, I've never heard it before.
How about Sister Siti Asha Kamaruddin? Have you heard this term ghafla?
Yes, sir.
Ghafla? Do you know what is the meaning of ghafla?
No.
Never. Any Penangan here? Penangan used to say ghafla. Don't be ghafla. No people from Penang here. Ghafla, you're forgotten. You already dominated by your desire. Because you're ghafla, you forgotten about your root, so you just focusing on the desire by the shaitan and also for the dunya. So we do not want you to be ghafla, and you have to struggle. You have to educate, you have to make jihad, not to be driven by the dunya, driven by the benefit or your anger and so forth. Because when your nerve is not increased into more restful and also peaceful nerves, and then you have to you will be in trouble. Okay, that's why we need to educate our nerves, yeah? Our akal and our heart need to be educated so that our soul also will be restful. So how to educate ourselves? We have to go for tarbiyah process, okay? Tazkiyah and also tarbiyah. Okay, tazkiyah here, purification of heart. You need to purify your heart. Yeah? Your heart is not peaceful, so you have to tame your heart. You tame your heart by through education, through zikir, through the rites and ritual that you find it can reduce, you know, the temperature of your house. Okay, and we talk about tarbiyah, so we can also follow the flow, the stages of tarbiyah, stages of marhala tarbiyah of workers in organization that divided into 3 stages. We have the pre-conventional, conventional, and also the post-conventional. Yeah, the pre-conventional, we know as ta'arif, not ta'aruf, this is called ta'arif. Ta'arif means we are providing the awareness, education, understanding about life. For example, they need to avoid anything that is harmful, anything that can attract punishment and bad consequences, and try to aim for reward and also benefit for them. So when we go into the takwin, conventional level, so you are no longer do things to avoid punishment and also just for reward, that you behave, but because of the requirement that you have to be good citizen. You have to be good citizen, adhering to the law, order, and also norms of your society. So when you reach the tanfis level, the post-conversion level, you are already a principled person. With this principle, you know that your nature, your fitrah is to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and therefore it is not because of reward, not because of the punishment. So for the general level, ta'arif level, for example, like us, like, why do you do fasting? Because you want the reward of fasting. Allah will give the rewards. But for those who already reached tanfis level, they do fasting, they perform salah, not because of the rewards, and not because to be, Allah will throw them into the hellfire. No, not because of that, but because they can feel they already reached the fitrah, natural disposition. They understand the commandment of Allah. Auzubillahi minasyaitonir rajim. Wa ma khalaqtul jinn wal ins illa liya'budun. So they really understand by words, by meaning, and also deep into their heart that they are created solely for ubudiyah, illa liya'budun, to worship Allah. And with this fitrah, they are no longer perform prayers because of the rewards, because of they wanted to enter to Jannah, because they do not want to be thrown into hellfire. No, and of course, ultimately, you will get the rewards by being a person of principle. But the reward is not the main drive. It's not the main driver for you to be obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even if you attended any lectures, when people recited the story in the Jannah, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked, what make you enter into Jannah? And the person, you say, because of your amal, because of the rewards. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just put your the bounties of your eyes Just your eyes. Put your 2 pieces of eyes into the scale. MashaAllah, no? The bounties of Allah and the bounties of Allah from the 2 eyes that you have are not able to justify you to enter into Jannah. Okay? Because of the amal, they say they did salah, they did fasting, they did hajj, everything. So now pull all this amal, put into the scale. This is your amal scale. And then this is the ni'mat, the bounties of your 2 eyes, put there. MashaAllah, no? The ni'mat of your eyes more than your amal. Then how to enter into Jannah? But the one that said, I enter into Jannah because of the mercy of Allah, because of the rahmah of Allah, because of the pleasure of Allah, mardatillah, I enter into Jannah. This one, you know, at the higher level of tarbiyah. So why you do this? Because of Allah. I want the redha Allah. I want the mercy of Allah. I want the pleasure of Allah. But the level of ta'rif, I want the rewards. So if I pray, I will get 27 times. I pray in jama'ah. If I pray sunat, I pray 4 rakaat before Zuhur and 4 rakaat after Zuhur. I will get, you know, a house in the Jannah. That is the ta'arif level. Okay? If you do things, why do this? That's why people at the ta'arif level, what they say, you know, they did a lot of sins. They say my sin can be erased. Can be erased by going to frequenting to Umrah, because my sin can be absorbed by the Hajar Aswad, the black stone can absorb. And this is ta'arif level. They thought that, you know, by performing a lot of Umrah, they can get their sins, you know, erased. This is the ta'arif level. Why you do a lot of, you know, donation? You know, I calculated, you know, if I give one deed, I get 10 rewards. The sunat one, I get 10. If the fardu, I get more than the reward. Calculated for 29 days. Ramadan recently calculated. Oh, we have a lot of multi-billions of rewards. That is the ta'arif level. Okay? So how are we going to apply this into the context of organization? Managers need to identify the level of the motivation of the employees, whether they belong to the ta'arif, takwin, or the tanfis level. Workers who reach the tanfis level, they are the one that very loyal, very committed and passionate to work. And it's not, they work not because of the allowance, bonus, or commission, etc. No longer main driver, but the main driver is the principle that they subscribe. So how are you going to increase your level from ta'rif, takwim, and tanfis? No shortcut, brothers and sisters. You have to struggle, jihad. Okay, you have to have jihad and nafs, and also tazkiyatun nafs. These are the tarbiyah that going to give you the ability to go to jihad and also improve yourself. But however, in terms of the muhasabah tarbiyah, I'm not sure whether you have heard this. Brother Haris Irfan, can you share with us your knowledge about muhasabah tarbiyah? Brother Imam Haris.
Yes, sir.
Brother Imam, muhasabah tarbiyah, can you share with us your understanding about muhasabah tarbiyah?
No,
Never.
What?
Have you heard this?
No.
Oh, never heard, huh?
No, muhasabah. What?
Muhasabah tarbiyah. This 10 muhasabah tarbiyah.
Oh, no.
Never heard.
No.
Andrika, perhaps. Just not Andrika, know about nafs. Andrika?
Yes, sir.
Muhasabah. Can you explain to us what is muhasabah tarbiyah?
Okay, I can explain a bit. So, muhasabah tarbiyah is formulated by Imam Hassan al-Banna.
Okay.
So, it's basically used for the youth when they want to develop the character as a Muslim.
Okay.
That's it.
That's all. This 10, you have
That's
10.
all, sir.
You have 10 items here. Can you explain at least one of them?
Maybe one. Salimul Aqidah is a good religion, good Aqidah.
Okay.
And Salimul Ibadah is Sahihul Ibadah is the right ibadah to perform.
Okay.
Qawiyyul is the strongness of the body or the physical body. Maybe just that.
That's all.
That's all.
That's all. How about the rest? Anyone familiar? Because I was told by some students, especially those who studied at the religious school, they were exposed with muhasabah tarbiyah. Even they have their ibadah camp that train them to demonstrate or to subscribe muhasabah tarbiyah. Anissa Ishaq. Anissa Ishaq. Any idea about muhasabah tarbiyah? Sister Najam Marzia. Nurdini Adriana.
Yes, sir.
Muhasabah tarbiyah. Can you explain?
No, I'm not sure.
Never heard.
I think I've heard, but I don't know the meaning of it.
Okay. Kashful Hakim.
Yes, sir.
Muhasabah tarbiyah. Are you familiar with this?
I heard about it during my high school. I'm not into it.
Heard only.
Yeah, I just heard only. Yeah.
Oh.
Every time they speak about this, I fell asleep.
Oh, just like a talk only, talking about muhasabah, but no formal training.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Nur Aina Zafira. Nur Aina Zafira.
Yes, Prof. Never heard of it.
Never heard also. Where do you study for your primary school?
Primary school.
Your secondary school?
Sekolah kebangsaan in Seremban.
Your secondary?
MRSM.
Not Ulul Albab, huh? Is it MRSM Ulul Albab?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. One Nurul Atira. One Nurul Atira.
Yes, sir.
Muhasabah tarbiyah.
Pernah dengar tapi tak ingat sangat.
When did you hear? When did you hear about it?
Sekolah.
Secondary school. Just a lecture, or was it a training? Was it a training?
Training like that.
Oh, you've gone through the training.
No, macam belajar
Oh.
program-program sekolah.
Then you should familiar, right?
Yes.
Okay, can you explain to us any of these 10 muasafats?
But I'm not really remember about that.
I can't remember. But you say you've gone through the training? No.
Tak tahu sangat.
Okay, brothers and sisters, why I highlight all this because look at here, no? We have SDG 17, isn't it? We have SDG 17, but our university will be the leader for SDG 18. SDG 18 will be focusing on Ruh, okay? Ruh or spirituality in English, because spirituality in English. So the SDG 18 is on spirituality. So therefore, we, brothers and sisters, as students, as staff, and whoever we are in this IM, so we must master on our tarbiyah ar-ruhiyah, tarbiyah ar-ruhiyah. So in order to do the tarbiyah ar-ruhiyah, you have to know what is tarbiyah, and then what is the marhala tarbiyah, and what is also the muasafat tarbiyah, and also what is the maratibul amal at-tarbiyah. So just now brother mentioned about muasafat tarbiyah developed by Imam Hassan al-Banna. The model that he developed has been proven successful to increase the awareness, knowledge, and also activism of youth at that time to practice Islam as a deen, way of life. So now we are in the world now, at the platform of the world, at UNESCO, we are asked to lead the world on how to live with this spirituality. So one of the way to sustain the world economy, society, and technology is to have high spirituality. So therefore, we have to lead people how to live with spirituality. But alhamdulillah, in Islam, Allah has provided us with all the guidelines, the Quran and the Sunnah, and all the teachings of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So we do in order for us to train our spirituality, so we need, number one, you're right, brother Kashamul Hakim mentioned that you need to have your the good faith. Salimul aqidah is salim, salim, peaceful. It is not contaminated, and also you are doing the correct ibadah, the correct worship. In the concept organization, the activities must be strategic, must be timely, trending, not something that already outdated. Qawil jism, we have to be healthy. This is the SDG number 3, good health and well-being. We have to make sure that we don't fall into sick or illness. Matinul akhlaq, matinul khuluq, we need to have a good morality, good also ethics. Okay, Musaqaf al-fikr, we have to read, increase our reading horizon, fikir. Okay, our thinking need to be enhanced. You have to give food to your thoughts. Qadirun ala kasbi, you are independent. You don't depend on others. Mujahadu ala nafs, this is what you have to do. You have to struggle with your own soul. Harisun ala waqtihi, you are a person who punctual, appreciate time. Munazama fi shu'unihi, you are the one a very systematic nizam with all the matters in your hands. And you are the person who nafi'un li ghayrihi, you are beneficial, useful, you can benefit others in your present. We do not want your present to be felt very burdensome by the society, and your absence they feel very, very relief. Some people, like us, when you return to kampung, or they say, oh, this troublemaker already back. Be careful, keep your door closed, keep the gate closed, because now we have this devil return back. We don't want to be like that. We want to be a person who expecting by people. They'll be asking, hey, when Kashful Hakim will be back home? He has gone since March. He hasn't gone back home. We are missing with his advice, his tazkirah. You know, he's very, very, very kind person. He is very hardworking. He, like his absent for many months, we really felt, you know, something is not correct in our kampung. That is the person that we want to create in the society that is sustainable, society that is peaceful, and also society that is prosperous. So brothers and sisters, if organization can translate this muhasabah tarbiyah into training module, training and development, and also to streamline into the activities organization, inshallah, you know, with the high spirituality, in the high of your nafs al-mutmainnah, and the target is to gain the mercy and the rahmah, and you will get better, you will get sustainable performance for your organization. MashaAllah, that is the what I call the detail that Imam Hasan al-Banna developed this tarbiyah module, and so that you can develop a worker or workers in the society that is guided. They are guided by the Quran, and also they have the high wisdom and intellectualism in doing the work. We do not want people who have no principle. People who know principle, they're depending on others. They are willing to trade off their principle because they wanted to have the dunya benefit. So because they cannot do mujahadah ala nafs, they can also be independent. If people fire them, they feel very, very bad because they don't have job, because they are not qadirun ala kasbi. They are not entrepreneurial. So in our situation, we should be prepared. If any situation, for example, pandemic, you cannot work, and therefore you have to be creative and innovative to find other jobs. You cannot be always just accepted and then you do nothing. Right? That's all, brothers and sisters, that you have to pay attention when it comes to Islamic perspective of motivation. Right? Any questions? Thank you very much. That's all I would like to share with all of you. With that, we end our session with Tasbih Kafara and Salatul Asr. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Insana la fi khusri allazina amanu salihat wa tawasaw bil haqq wa tawasaw bis sabr. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You are welcome.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you too. Farhin. Farhin, are you Malaysian or non-Malaysian? Farhin. Jisoo, are you in Malaysia or in China? Jisoo? Fatin Yahprang. Are you in Malaysia? Fatin Yahprang. What's that? I cannot see. You don't have microphone, right, Fatin? I don't see microphone signage here.